Hello everyone, watch this review here with a look at Penny from NECA's Mogwai Series 4, part of their greater Gremlins line. Originally I was just going to pick up Penny from this wave, but I wound up getting Brownie and Doodah as well. Partly because Big Bad Toy Store listed all three for $40 originally. They weren't doing single listings. Eventually they did do single listings, however, but I placed my pre-order, figured I didn't want to do it. And the second reason is just because NECA's sort of Mogwai lines, I guess, has been sort of struggling for sales, which has been sort of an ongoing issue with it. And I want this thing to keep going. It's really cool. Of course, I am a Gremlins fan, so... And speaking of things that I picked up, I also got the Spider Gremlin, so... Back of the box, this all arrived at the same time here. Put them all in my pile of loot, then because the 6 months thing all shipped at the same time. Otherwise I probably would have let it go a bit longer. You basically just had these three guys, a Star Wars Black Han Solo, and then finally Ghost Ship they had on clearance from Diamond Select Toys' Mini-Mates line. But Penny's design was the one I really liked. Others could have done without. Now, if you don't recognize the Mogwai, or either of these Mogwais, say either, but there are three of them, so probably a different word for that, but these are from a concept series. I believe they were concepts for the first film, might have been concepts for the second, can't remember. Third film hasn't come out yet. They are doing a third film though, it's a remake. They might have actually been doing a third normal film too, like a third sequel. I don't know. But they probably will not be getting Howie Mandel's voice for Gizmo again. Probably not, just because he's making a ton of money now, I think. So yeah, game show host. That's actually a good question. I've got to look that up and see if that thing's actually ever going to come out at this point. But Penny, yeah, hold on a second till I'll get her out of the box. Alright, so I quickly looked it up, and these were designs that would have appeared in the second film, Gremlins 2, the new batch, meaning that, the foursome of Mohawk, George, Lenny, and Doc? Yeah, I know the last one's Daffy. Would have been joined by, I guess, three other Mogwai maybe, or maybe these guys would have been supporting characters for Mohawk. Who knows? But, given that the original band works so perfectly, I'm not sure that adding extra characters, would have really done it much good. But hey, I would have loved to have seen Penny in the film. Interesting side note, she is sort of widely believed to be a female character. I did refer to as female earlier, which would make her sort of the second female character in the sort of Gremlins continuity. I mean, among the Mogwai/Gremlins, because obviously there were human females in those films. Because there was also the Lady Gremlin, if you remember. So, kind of interesting. And again, that's mostly assumed just from the name and just the sort of look at the character and some of the artwork. Now, unfortunately, the eyes in this one are kind of off. And they're sort of sunken in and what have you, and then they don't track 100%. Like, if you're looking at an angle, it looks fine, but if it's going like straight on, it's going to look a little off. Yeah. I'm starting to really wish they'd just get rid of these eye rollers. I mean, granted, I sort of like them for some poses and stuff. They do add some stuff to it, but they're such a hassle. Yeah, she has a white and gray design. It's interesting mostly because the majority of Gremlins have either brown or black in their deco. She is neither color, though I guess it gets dark enough that it almost looks black in places. But it's kind of a nice sort of striped design. Now I'm not sure if the yellowing's intentional or not, but there's also sort of a yellowish element. I wasn't sure if that's supposed to be just like a darker gray going across it, but I mean, it looks like a different color entirely in places, which kind of sucks. Now, generally speaking, I do prefer to buy a lot of NECA's things in person, because they're kind of bad in the quality assurance department. Oftentimes they'll have weird paint defects or other weird errors. I was in a Toys R Us once, and I saw like one of the Mohawks, or maybe it was a Stripe, who had like the head completely detached from the body. So, yeah, that sort of stuff. But in this case, just because I wasn't sure whether or not my local stores would be getting them in. Only my Toys R Us carries these, and my Toys R Us is up to like 16 or 17 a piece for them now. Some stupid price. But, so I just went and ordered them online, which I usually don't do, and I don't know, they did eventually get them in stock at my local store, but I'm not sure if this one's like better or worse than the other ones I saw there. I remember not being overly impressed with the sort of on-hands there either. In general, though, I do like the character design stuff. The green eyes are also interesting, because that's another thing. I mean, most of these guys have either brownish or orangish eyes. Can't remember if we've had any, with a different color eyes, but I guess it's another reason why I sort of assume that the gender might be different. Sort of size and design comparison, I have Stripe from Wave 3. I believe he's the only figure I picked up in Wave 3. I believe that one was Sad Gizmo and had Haskins in it, and I wasn't really interested in either one of them. But I probably wouldn't have minded having Haskins, he would have been interesting. But so far I actually don't own a Gizmo. I had meant to get Combat Gizmo, but I never found him at retail, so gotta go back for that too. And despite picking up all three of the concept series, I, for whatever stupid reason, still don't have a Daffy from the previous line, or from Wave 2. So yeah, that's something I have to get as well at some point. Then for the actual Gremlins, I think I only have George and Lenny. And then of course the original Mohawk, and now the Spider Mohawk. I don't have Daffy. Daffy's design. Daffy was always my least favorite of the new batch, well, at least of the Mogwai, and became Gremlins, not of the entirety of all the Gremlins, but yeah. At any rate, given that they did a Spider Mohawk, I'm still hoping that we'll eventually see the Bat/Gargoyle Gremlin as well. At any rate, I completely got off topic. Penny, decent design, everything. The other two, I'm not sure if I'll do reviews for, probably just because, but design-wise, Brownie probably interested me the least of the bunch, although he's got the most colorful design of the Mogwais that we've seen so far, and I'm not sure what they're going to do going forward, because at this point I believe they've covered, at this point they've obviously covered all of the new batch ones. I guess there's still a whole bunch left probably from the original film, because that one had a ton of Mogwai in the beginning. But yeah, if they get into concepts again, the sky's sort of the limit here. Makes things interesting. But this has been a look at NECA's Penny from the Mogwai line. Until next time, folks.